The goblin didn't see him. Its yellow eyes slid over the man in the worn hoodie, as if he were nothing but dust. Battery packs for flashlights. 2 for 10. Thick socks, moisture wicking. Energy drinks, still cold. You setting up shop in our farming spot again, Tran? This is our infrastructure. Maybe we'll take payment in merchandise. You don't belong here, freak. Let him go. Harassment inside an active dungeon? Seems like everyone's business. You're going to get killed. What class are you anyway? Farmer. I know, I wish I were joking. It's not exactly a hero's path. Hey, farm boy, tell me you saved a Pepsi Max for me. You're a saint, brother. Did you feel that? The dungeon, it's shifting. Something is wrong. Run. We have to get to the outer ridges now, before the collapse. A deafening roar ripped across the landscape. Sound became pressure, and pressure became knives. He felt his own blood burst from his nose. Look at that. Told you he'd get what was coming. Let's take his supplies. Hey, you touched my friend. As the world turned black, he felt the soil pulse beneath him, like roots searching for water in the dark. Phong woke to antiseptic and silence. His body felt broken, like shards of glass in his lungs. The dungeon nightmare was gone, replaced by the crushing weight of reality. Uncle Min. Auntie, why aren't you here? You would have been here by now. The official report called it a localized event. No civilian impact. A clean lie to cover a staged tragedy. Hey, I brought contraband. They are investigating, but the report is already finished. Traffic accident. Disorientation. The case is closed. The status panel flickered. A new quest. A cruel joke in his darkest hour. 2 months later, he walked out of the hospital with a debt of blood. The corporate machine had won again. The garden is all that's left. My uncle's pride. My aunt's herbs. I have to carry on. You don't have to do this, Phong. The dungeon is a death trap. I'm not fighting humans anymore. The dungeon doesn't care who your father is. He entered the deep, ruined basin. A place of decay and silence. Perfect for a farmer. Growth detected. The earth pulsed with a heartbeat. The dungeon had accepted the seeds. The world outside tasted sour. Billboards of smiling executives funded lies, while the media glorified bastards like Josh as the ideal hero. The law is a machine. Justice is just a hope. They aren't the same thing. I withdrew from med school. Seeing how quickly signatures could erase testimony, it changed everything. We found the entrance to floor 2. We won't sell it. We'll map it ourselves. Slow and clean. The potatoes grew fast. Too fast. The earth here wasn't earth. It fed differently. I pulled the plant. It wasn't a potato. It was smoother, iridescent, with armadillo-like ridges. What the hell is a molotado? I set it back down. The moment it touched soil, it vibrated and sprouted roots, drilling itself back into the earth like a living thing. The menu didn't think I needed a reward, but the molotatoes were the reward. Self-propagating, defensive, growing in hostile territory. I'm not building my life around another invisible timer. If the dungeon wants me to plant, I'll plant. Chili's next. You're turning this place into a homestead. No HOA down here, I guess. You run into something? Those wounds look human. I'm joining Dominic's group. It's not about proving anything. It's about leverage. Certain people will keep testing if they think I'm alone. I'm not alone. The dungeon pulses, and for the first time, it feels like I'm finally growing something that's truly mine. For a month, he lived underground. He only surfaced to restock and check the news, dreading the next shifting. Revenge rushed is suicide. Revenge planned is strategy. I heard, kid. On the house. Don't argue. Your uncle was a good man. The university looked the same. Red brick, banners, and students. As if the world hadn't ended. Didn't expect to see you here. Dropped out. Something like that. Most think shifting is random. But it's not. It has patterns, like an ecosystem. I farm. In the dungeon. That's impossible. You're getting yield? 10-day cycle. It's working. Maybe. If we compare notes, we can understand the patterns. He upgraded his gear. A reinforced tent, a generator, grow lights. If he was going to live in the dungeon, he would live. The chili plants sprouted fast. Glossy leaves, red pods like drops of blood. He harvested one. Strength, permanently increased. This was not mining. This was cultivation. He felt like a farmer reclaiming his land. Phong surfaced on a gray Tuesday. Not for danger, not for grief, but for the basic human rituals that reminded him he was still alive. The hermit returns. You still handing out free drinks? For you? Always. People say slimes are migrating north. Business is slow near Riverdale. Slimes avoid my area. My land annoys them. Good. Don't forget the sun completely. He returned to his roots. The barber, the clothes, and finally, the package long kept for him. You're normal enough. Back in the dark. He opened the box. A Steam Deck. A portal to a life that wasn't just surviving. Maybe the dungeon doesn't let predators farm. Anyone with a functioning EXP bar is part of the consumption cycle. He returned to his garden. Sweet potato vines, chilies, and a single lime sapling fighting to survive in alien soil. Back. Back, you spicy demons. Ow. What the? This is a war crime. Are you done attacking my garden? Your garden attacked me. I was exploring. With a bat. This is illegal. You grow these? I trade. I cook. You bring fish. Deal. A routine locked in. Rico brought fish. Phong cooked food. The dungeon didn't feel hostile anymore. It felt inhabited. Speed. I am Speed. You're already loud enough without the caffeine. I have questions about the raccoon. He pays in fish. Don't ask. Try this. Vietnamese pearl, coconut inside. Fusion is the future. You brought him? I heard he was moving in. I consented. Man-adapted fauna bonding with humans is rare. You're lucky. There's a new divers association. Decentralized. No corporate strings. Come see it. My farm. You're sure? This is incredible. Stable. No fluctuations. Farmer. Look at this place. You've built a whole camp. Brought some floor 2 meat. Fast little bastards. Taste like steroids. Bone stock, lime, and red angry chilies. Let's eat. Can I? You won't explode? Acceptable. For the first time, he didn't feel like he hid inside the dungeon. He felt like he hosted it. This weather is like lice in your ears. It's winter. Giving it a name does not improve it. I forgot cold exists up here. You live here, Dominic. I live mostly underground now. Learned it from our farmer. I can hear colors. You good? Pep Supremacy still stands. Super low tonight. You going? Maybe. The logistics of these dungeons have changed everything, hasn't it? They funneled the crowd into Madison Square Garden. Athletes moved with regulated, mana-enhanced speed. See that lateral burst? That's legit. Then, the screen cut to a familiar face. Josh's father, suit immaculate, smile calibrated. Information. Pattern. System. The legal system. Floor 2 has bigger monsters. I know. Come by for New Year. My wife makes enough food to feed Floor 2. He cried at the ceremony, by the way. I have discovered heaven. Slow down, Rico. I don't believe forgiveness is an obligation, but I do believe in balance. I won't let it consume me, but I won't let it go. My dream? To gain enough influence that what happened to you doesn't happen to the kids here. That's noble, Alexandra. Different brand of selfish. My red chilies grant permanent stat increases. Strength. Stackable. Permanent. You trust me with that? Merry Christmas, Alexandra. Merry Christmas, Phong. Festive acknowledgement. The city streets of South Jamaica were blanketed in soft snow. Phong and Alexandra walked the quiet, forgotten stretch of Queens. My uncle's house. They would have liked you. Merry Christmas, farmer. She hugged him, a brief moment of firm warmth in the freezing air. Trust, clean and earned. You are emotionally complicated. Yes. In the dungeon, life persisted. A lime sapling stood small, white blossoms luminous under the dim, unreliable light. Smells sharp. Can we eat it? Sweet potatoes win when roasted. Blasphemy. Regular potatoes are superior. Phong drifted into sleep, his community small but growing. Suddenly, a tectonic exhale rolled through the ground. That's new. I do not approve of geography changing while I sleep. 5 massive, goat-headed trolls descended the mountain ridge, their hides thick with moss and stone-hard skin. Run? The chili plants retaliated. Miniature rockets streaked forward in a tight spread, exploding against the trolls' mossy hides. The molotatoes surfaced, undermining the ground beneath the trolls. They slipped and fell into a chaotic, cannibalistic frenzy. You're alive. Barely. Occupational hazard. He was a level 1 farmer, and his farm had just repelled a threat that would wipe out any team in the association. We require stronger breakfast. If it's more goats, just let them eat me. It's not. It's recognition. My garden knows them. The troll mountain got shifted next to you, and you didn't text that? I was asleep. Did your vegetables just uppercut geology? Bontados. The troll charged, but the chili pods fired like mortars. Explosions tore into the moss in smoking, heavy chunks. Hi, I'm Janet. You've built something incredible here. I left my family's New Year dinner for this. It better involve food. I saw you and Alexandra at Christmas. The house. My wife bought it. We keep it private. Just us. If someone can't reach the gate, they come here. You're influencing spatial cohesion. This ruin is anchored to floor 1 like a fixed node. It stays. It's the centerpiece. Fortress Farm. No. Home. A year ago, I didn't have this. Now, I have a place that fights back. To a new year. The trolls had evolved. They stopped charging the garden, realizing the burning moss and explosive crops were a death sentence. Instead, they shifted their focus toward the gate, hunting the unsuspecting. The trolls won't break this place, so they'll attack where it's weaker. The gate. None of you go in or out alone. I am independently capable. Good. I need insulation, bedding, and real medical kits if this becomes a permanent rest stop. And Pepsi. They moved as a machine. Dominic and another tank took point. Alexandra and the ranged user held the flanks. Phong walked inside the shell. Move. Alexandra's rapier punched through the troll's eye socket. Dominic hurled a satchel of dried chilies. Regeneration stuttered, and the trolls turned on each other in a violent knot. They crossed the threshold into the cold Manhattan air. Sirens wailed, and news drones buzzed overhead. A crowd pressed near the barricades. Phong saw the screen. One of the sponsors who had wronged him was gone, robbed by the dungeon. He expected rage, but felt only a quiet, rough satisfaction. Ah, my farmer. Bring friends, get discount. Salt foam, and seeds, basil and ginger. You bring community. That is how business survives. Here, for you. My parents want to meet you. I mentioned a level 1 farmer who feeds people hot pot. You observe. You measure. It is good, but sometimes move forward. Stand beside people, not always one step back. They were born in a mana-saturated zone. They're sentient. I couldn't leave them. They require mentorship. I cannot remain the sole enlightened raccoon. They returned to the dungeon. The lime tree stood steady, chilies swayed, and molitatos hummed. The community was growing, anchored by more than just dirt. Is he under attack? Why is he making that horrible, vibrating noise? No, Rico. That's just him. Go back to sleep. A violent thud from outside shatters the peace. The group snaps to attention instantly. Something is out there. Stay sharp. That isn't floor 1 fauna. Look at those metallic feathers. Steel. It's hard as steel. Stymphalian. The birds of the Greek labor. You're naming the camp after a Greek hero's kill? Fine by me. Today we feast. I'm making giake, a rich, fermented stew. It smells like betrayal and pungent shrimp. This is incredible. Worth surviving the trolls for sure. The depth of the fermentation is genuinely impressive, Phong. She's running on fumes, Phong. She pushed herself harder than anyone to get here. I know. I'll look out for her. Growth, not aggression. That is the intention of this soil. You think it will change them? Make them defensive? You were defeated by a kitten? A kitten who needs help grooming? It was a skill issue. Don't mention it again. Snow lime. A rare find. 20% movement speed boost. This is life and death for a speed-based fighter. Don't die while I'm gone, okay? I'm a farmer. I don't plan on it. Farmer. King. Tribe. We learn. You talk. You've been watching us. We bring meat. Not man flesh. You give cooked groundwalker. 100. Each moon cycle. 100 molitatos per moon cycle. Meat delivered here. Tribe not cross fire fruit line. I distrust diplomacy with goats. And you don't touch my friends. Victory does not require combos. It requires patience. The sky is moving too slow. This is optimal. I blame Dominic. We reach the ruin. Pre-collapse civilization. Bugs the size of cars. Please don't die. I made a deal with the trolls. 100 molitatos per moon cycle. You negotiated with a level 35 alpha? You're insane. New growth. New flavor layers. New variables. Open the gate, farmer. Still level 1. Yes. Good. Stay mysterious. Unload everything. Bug meat on the outer rack. We test small portions first. Cultural exchange. Fizz fire. See. Floor 2 is getting worse, Phong. We are surviving because of your produce, but that stops the moment we get complacent. The terrain rewrote mid-fight last week. We need to know exactly what we are working with. Fine. Let's start the mass appraisal. They turned the camp into a makeshift laboratory. Scales, timers, and test subjects line the perimeter. Why do you hurt me, Onion? My eyes are burning. Stop complaining and hold your position. I need to monitor the mana fluctuation. Hit me. I want to test the stoic garlic defense buff. Absolutely not. I am not hitting you. Your soil is alive, Phong. Mana reactive. The mushrooms only stay baseline because they grow on surface logs. So if we inoculate a dungeon stump, we can control the mutation? More groundwalkers. Trade accepted. I hope you appreciate the effort. These molitatos are roasted in tallow. Fizz fire. I am a diplomat. You are a terrible influence on our relations with the Troll King. I refuse to accept this. I just got combo locked by a cat. The kitten is simply better at spacing than you are. Your advancement curve is abnormal. You're supported by high-tier consumables. If the association digs, they'll hunt you. So we bunker down? Something is wrong. The air tastes like fish. The dungeon just rewrote itself. Look out there. Cancel coffee. We have bigger problems now. We are trapped between the mountains and this black water. Stymphalian stood firm, balanced between mountain rage and deep, silent water. The lake appeared overnight. A mirror dropped into the dungeon. Still, black, patient. Phong knew the only answer. Keep planting. If it reacts to outside stimulus, then exposing them to the lake could open a new mutation path. The water rippled. Not wind. Something underneath. Everyone felt it, as the Molitato network throbbed with alert. It's here. Who leads this settlement? Here we go. We aren't looking for a throne. We just want to farm. Then farm in service to the scaled crown. Your camp will be marked hostile. Lake Baratok declares war. We just picked a fight with an underwater kingdom. Formation. Dominic, shield up. Fish overlords are attacking. They expected stone or timber. They met agriculture. Farm defense online. The lime tree struck back. It swung like an automated trebuchet, freezing them in their tracks. No restraint. Kill. The mutation hit. Weeping Onion released a thick, invisible, choking cloud. We just committed agricultural war crimes. Garlic proximity mines that burrow and double detonate? You're violating everything. They won't underestimate us now. They are recalculating. We need to be ready. Camp Stymphalian stood bloodied, but unbroken. The war had just begun. We are undefeated. The shorelines still smelled of ozone. The fighting had ended, but the message remained to be delivered. It's a warning for the lizard men. You built a scarecrow for monsters. I have to admit, I'm impressed by your dedication, Phong. 28. I can feel the power surging. 29. We are getting so close. You're about to join the elite league of A-class divers. It's a massive structural transformation. Celebrate. Tonight we eat hot pot. We've earned this moment of peace before the next storm. To survival and agricultural warfare. And to culture. Look, the monsters are actually attending our ceremony. They're just sitting there, watching. Groundwalkers, these offerings are acceptable. I approve of this feast. We need to plan carefully. If you hit level 30 before us, you become a target for the elites. We need to stay under the radar. Wait, I just noticed it. Jake, Jack, Joanne, Janet, your names all start with J? Has there been anything between us? Yes. I don't want you to think I'm just trying to get laid. Phong, that's very you. Just stop overthinking everything. You're surprisingly soft to hold. Mind your own relationship. The lake stirred. A single figure rose from the water. Envoy Thasser, representing the depths of Lake Baratok, approached the shore alone. We propose a formal vassal arrangement. Camp Stymphalian shall be recognized as a vassal, but the scaled throne holds no authority over your internal governance. If declined, Lake Baratok commits to a prolonged war. Months, until submission or annihilation. Then we accept. We pay the tribute, and we maintain our independence. Well fucking done, farm boy. You just established the first diplomatic relation between humans and a dungeon civilization. I'll make a nickname for you. Mudskipper, lives between water and land. Adaptable, stubborn, impossible. You two together? You'll lose this, coffee wizard, and badly too. Mark my words. If you invented this yogurt coffee in 1912, people would remember it as the biggest tragedy of the 20th century. The screen cut to China. A young woman, Yu Ting, stood at the edge of a canyon. The first human on floor 3. They sprint toward the spotlight. We choose the foundation. We choose stability. We aren't racing, we're building. This is inefficient. You two cuddle frequently, but you have not yet made it. I think I'm going to choke on my juice. Alex, help me. You lack long-term optimization planning. Rico focuses too much on happiness right away. I awaken Barbarian. I am Sorcerer. Barbarian? This is unprecedented. I have to see this for myself. Level 1. And you're negotiating trade pacts with monster factions? Spar? I want to see if your rare class is just hype. You're on. Don't say I didn't warn you. Do you ever think about how absurd this is? I'm just a farmer. You're a level 1 monster negotiator. That's not just farming, kid. We missed Valentine's Day. It's March now. White Valentines. Let's do it properly with everyone. Ah, the romance delegation. Welcome to my shop. This place is unique. You owe me long. You said they'd stay friends. Pay up. Oh, I'll pay. Enjoy your special drink, kid. Sacrifice accepted. I see beyond. Oh no, he drank the experiment. He's going to go crazy. Pepsi is but one dimension. I perceive caffeine frequencies. This is gold. I'm definitely posting this content. It was late, unplanned, and messy, but it was real. Everything about this place is real. Let's head home. They were at Janet and Dominic's home. A space kept, preserved, where the creaky floors whispered of the past. Then, silence. Every phone, every menu, every screen pinged in unison. A global system banner fractured the air. Turn it up. The feed showed a nightmare. A monstrous phoenix descended, its 6 wings creating shockwaves of pure flame. It was an anomaly. No level, no stats, just rows of red question marks mocking the survivors. No, barbecue night will not be stressful. You, grill. Heat control is positioning. Like a tank. Don't fight the fire. Guide it. You two need names. You talk now. You deserve them. I am Barbarian. I require elegance. We're lucky. If that boss had manifested while you were still on floor 2. Something beautiful. Not everything needs to be a weapon. In the quiet attic, the world outside was just an echo. He finally felt he belonged. Phong woke like he'd lost a wrestling match with a freight train. Every muscle protested, and his mind was a tangled mess of exhaustion and lingering adrenaline from the previous night. You alive? Debatable. Can I brush your hair? Now. Why? My uncle used to brush my aunt's hair every morning. He complained the whole time, but it was their ritual. Below them, the street was not normal. Neighbors in black huddled together. Funerals. The phoenix had burned through families. She was strong, but it doesn't matter. Not against that kind of chaos. You graduated. Boy to man. Can we not? Before you celebrate, we need to talk. Media eyes are everywhere. We lay low. No dives, no appearances. Then the screen changed. Josh appeared. Polished, grieving, and perfectly managed. Tragedy repurposed into momentum. Their PR team is criminally underpaid. Turning two spoiled Humpty Dumptys into media sweethearts? That's gold medal mental gymnastics. I expected it. Months ago, this would have lit me on fire. Now, I see the pattern. I won't let it steer me. Life didn't pause for hypocrisy. It moved. They would choose their battlefield, not on someone else's stage. I am walking my humans. You are being walked. It is abandoned property. It is someone's. You limit my growth. Don't look so intense. You look like you're about to pitch an already bankrupt startup. I'm not. You're eager to brag to my parents about bagging their precious daughter, aren't you? Should I be concerned? Alex, invite him to your room. You should be on the same pace. How are you planning to take revenge now that I'm in your life? I was planning to kill Josh. I haven't let revenge swallow me. Instead, I built something incredible. I'm a farmer. You were going to carry that alone. You don't get to decide alone what I carry. I'm already in it. If it comes to it, we face it together. You may call us dad and mom. That's a first. But then, she brought you here. Her sweetness returned. Now we forgive you. The crunch and texture would be perfect for Gia K. I like him more than I like you, Alexandra. Now you are speaking language. By the time they reached the corner, he realized he didn't feel like an outsider looking in anymore. He felt like someone with somewhere to return to. Guess she never told you that she helped build the dungeon mapping tech. Japan mapped 10% of Floor 1. Selena contributed to that. I prefer results to announcements. Floor 1 shifts in micro patterns, Phong. We can finally predict the biome burps. Next Valentine. We'll include another couple. Seems so. When she masters discipline, I franchise. Legacy, Phong. Uncle, I need a supplier for the camp. There is a man. Half Russian, half Cuban. Alexei. Dungeon Walter White. Except with poultry. You're dating someone who smells like a diver. A scary one. Life is strange, farmer. My chickens had no chili missiles. No bontados. The dungeon mobs just turned them into food. Sunflowers. I want to plant them lining the edge of camp. Tall stalks. That's random, but I'd love that. Solid legs, alert eyes. Good. Here, protection matters, kid. Are you treating us like experimental chickens? Farmer genes plus Mindblade genes? That kid would solo Floor 2. Try not to give us a niece or nephew too soon. Thanks, Dominic. For everything. Thinking? Dark thoughts again. No, just sunflowers. Brining techniques. Things to build. A small price for something real. I need my protein. Nutrient bars just don't cut it anymore. The massive, muscular man carried crates of chickens as if they were nothing, drawing wary glances from other dungeon divers. Did we miss a summit? Why are there lizard men and trolls here? They wanted to trade. Their scouts knew we were coming. We bring lake bounty. We bring land beast. They're acoustic nodes. The Molotado network can hear through them. It's only sound, but it gives us ears across the dungeon. 8 hours of sleep in 60 seconds. This is a game changer. It's not just a buff, it's a total reset button. I have a proposal. I want a pond for water storage. We provide manpower. Digging is simple. Steak. We're eating like kings tonight. Fish today. Save the cow for tomorrow. This sashimi is insane. It's so clean and fresh. The texture contrast on the seared cut is better. I'm planting sunflowers and carrots. The soil doesn't care if it's night. You're building a whole farm in the middle of a dungeon. We need to set up the electronics. A cinema in the dungeon. Now we're talking. Cinema time. You shall not pass. I am fire and shadow. Are you falling asleep, farmer? Never. Just observing the progress. Camp Stymphalion had grown beyond survival. It was a home. After the long council, exhaustion claimed him. Phong slumped against his companion, his breathing evening out into a deep, heavy slumber. He tried so hard to stay awake. Time to butcher. Courtship with a mind blade must be taxing on a farmer. Trust made arithmetic unnecessary. They weren't exploiting him, and he wasn't hoarding. The community ran on a natural give and take. It was absurd. All of it. And yet, stable. For now, this was enough. What? That wasn't there yesterday. Give me another. Patience. The broth must be clear, not murky. This is insane. Don't let the tree grow into a castle while we're gone. My balance is higher. They really are paying their share. It imprinted. Look at its coloring. Little fireball. We continue their legacy. Floor 3 is the opportunity of a lifetime. The dungeon did not care about media arcs. It swallowed, it replaced, it moved. But here, there was soil, there was water. Phong looked like a man who had fought a war. He hadn't. He had simply loved a level 29 mind blade 3 nights in a row. You okay? I have seen things. He's fine. Farmer needs a stamina build. Little fireball. Meet the newest member. Oh my god. Is that a flame nugget? Foe again. Fresh. Comforting. The broth has deepened overnight. This smells illegal. So what's in the leader room? It's private. This feels like more than growth. More like structural reinforcement. I was thinking of building a swing. The ground trembled. A different kind of presence moved across the treeline. Trance. That's above the Troll King. This doesn't have to escalate. The lake is large enough for shared access. Water is ours. The meta had changed. Esports had evolved since dungeon classes became public. That entry was clean. The roar came. Heavy. Authoritative. A pressure wave shuddered through bone and soil. Floor boss. The monsters knew the name. Sky Emperor. Sovereignty. Hierarchy had reminded them who truly ruled. I am no longer the boy who collapsed under a roar. Hierarchy mattered. Strength mattered. But so did roots. Camp Stymphalian stayed stubbornly rooted. Let's plant more sunflowers. Alex, I am officially exhausted. Being a farmer in this dungeon is harder than the system led me to believe. You combat illiterate farmers. You try to keep up, but you're just not built for my world, are you? Wait. Selena sent a message. It's about a new farmer named Olin. He's doing something impossible. He claims if a farmer defeats 100 of the same monster, they gain a skill. That's commodifying evolution. He's using hired high-level mercenaries to weaken the monsters so he can get the last hit. That's so expensive. It's efficient. He's turned hope into a product. But he's missing the point of the dungeon entirely. 1 year ago, that's when I got my quest to plant potatoes. The same time he started his testing. It's no coincidence. If you had publicized your methods, they would have come for you too. You were smart to stay invisible. I have returned from reconnaissance. Behold my optimized survival strategies for the lesser species of the camp. You smell like a level 35 troll, Rico. That's why the monsters are running away from you. I demand caffeine. The undiluted version. My brain is expanding beyond human comprehension. I have seen the beyond. You've just got a sugar crash, you idiot. Let them play their games. I will stay here. Between the mountain and the lake, I am rooted deep. Assets and liabilities, Phong. Let's see what the system thinks of us. Your intelligence score is 112. That's impossible to ignore. You're farming monsters smarter than me. Stop competing. It's just math. Force tolerance. I'll be gentler on love day. Romance is dangerous terrain, Alex. Elite mob. Ambush on floor 2. We had to pull back. No arguments. We retreat to Camp Stymphalian now. Good evening. We're looking to discuss an escort contract for floor 2. Can't. Team member is injured. If they reach floor 2 in numbers, the dungeon will respond. It has a hierarchy. You think so? To Steak Night. And to Jake Healing. To choosing when to grow. If we're eating like kings, we should see what the world is doing. Farmer Guild. Breaking the chains of production classes. Floor 2 is rougher. Ran into a group from France. They recognized you, Alex. Recognized me? Why? We talk if they approach. We don't invite them in. To observation. They'll survive until the dungeon decides they've grown too loud. You're sure? Next Steak Night, we celebrate level 30. I'm ready for that. Vertical ruin. Think stacked city blocks. The elite mob came down on us from above. Worth it. It was not worth it. 3 or 4 hairs away from level 30. There is no such thing as a fractional hair. You are just jealous of my hair count. If we're going to keep building this place, you should know what we are. Trust. Not transactional. Not sponsored. It was the foundation of their camp. Valkyrie. Rift Striker. Spell shot. Found near Lake Bank. Normally food. But Camp Stymphalian is honorary vassal. The French. One of them is dead. The guy probably stayed behind to buy them time. Bring them inside. Now. Wait. That is not dried blood. Hold her. Small dark shapes forced their way out. Parasitic snails. They dropped onto the bedding and scurried away. Lake Parasite. They mimic lizardman eggs. Snail hatch inside. They prefer the vertical stone formations of floor 2. Spatial anomalies. A lake existing on 2 floors at once. Everything we thought we knew is surface level. Don't lose your mind. You are thinking hard. About the lake? Fear does not plant carrots. Our tents won't last forever. If this camp is going to survive, we need permanent structures, real stone, and real security. Stone walls. I'm in. But who's going to build them? The lizardmen have the architectural knowledge we lack. I need to strike a deal with their emissary, Thasser. Lizardman eggs in our camp? It's a huge risk, but it binds us together. It means mutual defense. Or if they are touched. They're waking up. The sympathy Inoki worked. Where am I? This isn't the lake bank. You're Alexandra Vogel, the diver we watched online. But you're here, in this camp, dressed in farm clothes? Hydration first. And bring me some soda, if you please. Did that raccoon just speak? You built this? How is a level 1 farmer holding off the monsters and making them build houses? We didn't build it. We grew it. Let's start with names. And just so we're clear, Alexandra stands with this camp, regardless of everything else. Northern-style pho, charred ginger, beef bones. It's the best way to handle diplomacy. Wait, you two were there? Tell us what you saw on the second floor. It was a bull, the size of a mountain. Its horns, they were diamond. A mountain-sized bull carrying an entire biome on its back? That explains a lot about why this dungeon feels so layered. There are more bosses out there than anyone realizes. To not falling, to building something that lasts. Even here, I can give you a version people will accept, one that keeps everyone safe. The fire crackled, casting long, dancing shadows across the campsite as the group gathered in the tense, heavy silence. You ran into an elite mob on floor 2. Lost 2 members. Dominic's team found you cornered and pushed them back. That explains my injury and why we pulled out early. No camp, no alliance hub, no chilly perimeter, no lizard men. I don't exist in that version. And you? If word spreads that dungeon gates move people easily, whole industries panic. Airline owners sit in the same tax bracket as your enemies. In this system, the rich have more rights than the poor. We say nothing. Keep it private. The next morning, the group prepared. Grocery runs, comfort upgrades, and the vital seeds. Always seeds. We're going up. We need a decoy farm. The dungeon gate was no longer wild. It was a commercial hub. Neon signs and corporate logos blazed in the dark. They don't fear the dungeon. They see portfolio spread. Marketing teams shape the story, and the world believes them. Stepping through the gate, the world shifted. The damp mineral air vanished, replaced by the chaotic roar of Manhattan. Strawberries for sweetness. Peas for the perimeter. Legally distinct pea shooters. Childish. It feels strange, knowing the most stable place we've been lately isn't here. Stability isn't loud. Far below the surface, the mountain bull shifted in its sleep, unaware of the small farmer building his fortress above. I'll handle the paperwork. I'll handle the guild noise. You go, Phong. Be human. Go where? The bakery door chimed. The smell of butter and sugar wrapped around them like a warm blanket. Oh my God, is this the baby? You start a small farm in a dungeon? Of course. I make beer now. Craft. Better than Manhattan. You need a haircut. It's weeds. Sit. 20 minutes later, the young man looked sharper. Cleaner. Less like a dungeon hermit. Farmer. Not forest creature. The kitchen filled with the pungent, rich scent of Vietnamese spices as the young man prepared his meal. What is that smell? I am modern. She is Mario to my Luigi. The kitchen erupted into laughter, the tension of the city outside forgotten for a moment. You're building something. Keep it small. You look better, Phong. Hair trimmed, eyes clearer. Yes, it feels different now. Same jacket, same shirt, every day. It's depressing. Take him to the mall, Alex. Already planned on it. This navy coat suits you. You clean up well, farmer. It feels strange, but I think I like it. Apex lineage potential. The mana conductivity in the feather. I require a sample. Join Dominic's team, and no one hears a word about this. Agreed? The young man held out his hand. A single, shimmering down feather slipped free from the chick's wing. I will not betray this trust. As they walked away, the young man realized something. He wasn't just surviving. He was shaping his world. Roots. I finally have roots. The playground was a relic of a past life. Rusted swings, cracked tiles, and faded monkey bars. It feels smaller now. Everything does. But for the others, this place was paradise. A raccoon, a kitten, and a glowing chick. We might need a new nickname for you. Alexei keeps turning around when I flirt with my lover. Oh, you started this, Mudskipper. Dominic and Janet are hitting level 30. And you, I know you've brushed the barrier. I will dive again. We don't have to be glued together to be serious. You're my Apfeltaschen. Hard shell, elegant, then unexpectedly hot. And everything escalates. That might be the strangest compliment I've ever received. But accurate. When you hit 30, you're going to scare people. I already do. When you win your fight, I want to walk into that wedding hall without ghosts. Phong woke to war. Fireworks cracked the night sky, rattling the windows with concussive, sharp booms. What exactly are we proud of? More gun sales, 18 Porsches for arms dealers? Hush now, dear. The bakery had become an operations base. Flour on the floor, and an unlikely strategist on the counter. For months since the war with Lake Baratok, everything feels so normal now. It is strange. The dungeon gives quests, but doesn't punish refusal. The government just punishes you for existing wrong. They stood at the university gates. A world of monsters behind them, and an uncertain future ahead. Last year, I measured time in grief. Now, I measure it in growth. I'm ready. 4th of July was a perfect opportunity. Patriotism was easy to package. Even easier when the country was rattled by dungeon deaths. Predictable. We must continue the legacy of the fallen. We are democratizing growth through innovation. Emma, you okay? Today, we stand united. I am honored to support this collaboration. I forgot how much I hate that tone. Modesty hiding condescension. You don't need a stage. You're better in rooms without cameras. Fireworks burst behind the stage. Polished. Overdone. Effective. The crowd roared for the Golden Child trio. This is your fault. She hasn't slept in days because of your anomaly. Good afternoon to you too. I can't publish it. Camp Stymphalion would be swarmed by every corporate unit in the country. There are 3. Monstrous Phoenix. Sky Emperor. Horns of the Earth. This means the dungeon isn't escalating at random. It's preparation. I'm coming to camp for vacation. If I can't publish, I might as well live inside the anomaly. Guess I'm packing. Real food, not dungeon protein. The small apartment felt like an academic crime scene, yet the air was filled with the sharp, smoky aroma of tacos. I don't think all floor bosses are active threats. The Phoenix is territorial, but the Sky Emperor? It commands through hierarchy, not predation. He's suggesting he nearly got one-shot by a CEO barking orders at underlings. You're thinking of them as ecological entities, not video game bosses. The dungeon isn't evil. It's morally orange. You don't burn an ecosystem because you're scared of its apex predator. They already see him as a son-in-law. Papa even gave him a haircut. That's approval level 2. Dessert? Caramel flan. Worth the existential dread. In a world of monsters, steady might be revolutionary. They sat, 3 catastrophe-level secrets lingering in the air, balanced by the simplicity of a half-eaten flan. The street corner was transformed. A line wrapped around the block, phones pressed against the glass. What is this? A red carpet? Emma Tannenbaum sat at a small table, perfectly poised, her ceremonial armor swapped for designer streetwear. Line. Only one word, delivered like a blade. Uncle Long, give us 2 salt foam and the test flan. They help taste. I'll have one of those. I'm sure I can pay. Not for sale. You too popular. My shop bye-bye. Lovely place. See you soon. I prefer stability. The cafe quieted as she left. Fame retreated back to the sidewalk. Farming is good. You did hear my advice. Community. Visa done. Exactly like Long said. No word, no mess, just stock stability. They told us not to speak. For global stability. It's all just a narrative machine. Runway montage. Global cooperation. Meanwhile, the world ignores the spatial anomalies. It's just simple optics for the mass. Everything felt balanced. The lime oak swayed, the chickens clucked. And then, the air changed. What is that pressure? My instincts are screaming at me. Stay sharp. Something massive is moving. Over the rise, it appeared. Horns of the Earth. A bull the size of a mountain. I can't stay standing. It's too much. Keep your blade down. Don't provoke it. Chirp. The tiny, golden-red chick stood unafraid, tilting its head at the mountain-sized beast. The bull exhaled, a rumbling breath that turned into a wave of mana. It turned and walked away, casual, as if the camp didn't matter, or perhaps as if it approved. Rough model. Bull equals life. Sky Emperor equals order. Phoenix equals death and rebirth. We're in a triangle of apex patterns. This isn't a game. It's an ecosystem. We aren't raid bosses. We're adaptation. Surf and turf, people, and cola diplomacy. Let's see if this Mexican Coke beats the Pepsi. On the screen, a man in an immaculate suit stands at a podium, jaw tightened. Behind him, numbers of falling share values crawl across the screen. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I prefer it when floor bosses rearrange billionaires. Phong woke like someone had shoved him off a cliff. Not by a monster's roar, but by memory. Twisted, accusing. His aunt and uncle's faces in his dream. Distorted, disappointed, haunting him. I'm 22. A college dropout. Level 1. Facing a billionaire who can erase people. 1 year, it's not enough. You don't have to apologize for grief. It's been a year. I should be stronger. Doesn't feel like it. You're fighting a system built to protect men like him. And you're doing it without sponsors, without PR, without bloodlust. And you're still here. You don't get to control how the world punishes evil, but you choose who you are while you wait. I still don't want you dragged into it. I won't tell anyone. And if it bothers you, I won't remember it either. You don't have to perform resilience. You don't have to prove anything to me. He drifted back to sleep, not because the problem vanished, but because for a few hours, he was allowed to rest. The dream no longer accused him. Cuddle compensation? Profusely? Yes. Profusely. Decoy farm today? Yes. Romantic. Extremely. So, Mr. Farm Boy, we'd like to join Dominic's team. Our teammates are gone. We don't know anyone more trustworthy. You'll go back to France in 2 weeks. Use Death Peak as a landmark. Just respect the Lizardmen borders, and you'll be fine. Phong and his team arrived at the Tramp Forest. The location was the perfect decoy to mask their true strength. Basic crops. Nothing that glows or mutates. It's boring, and that's the point. You make it look easy. It's not. But that's the point. You're protecting something, aren't you? Back at camp, the atmosphere had shifted. It no longer felt like a ruin, but a real, thriving home. The ventilation is perfect. This place feels solid now. Efficiency training. Move, move, move. I require more upper body strength. You know, this is dangerously close to being happy. Let's not jinx it. Shifting. Hold on to something. The ground rippled like water. A tectonic upheaval tore through the floor. The extra mana from the horns of the earth amplified it. The camp's plants responded instantly. Mushrooms hardened into shields, and enoki stems turned into weapons. What kind of monster forces this reaction just by existing? You are not enemies. Then who is? They are. Shelter. What's coming? Scary. The mana signature in the bamboo is layered. It's not just trees. Fear won't help. Get ready. The bamboo forest parted at dusk, quietly, and then they came. Worker ants, the size of large rats. Level 43. Positions. The tower defense began. Green chilies fired first, launching payloads of capsaicin that burst into smoke and flame. Garlic mines buried deep, detonating with pungent force. Then the enoki rained white streaks of hardened mushroom rounds. Left flank. Alex moved like a thought made sharp. Mind blade arcs cleave through the swarm with brutal precision. Underground pressure is rising. Molitatos pulsed. Roots thickened, collapsing tunnels and crushing any burrowing ants. For science. Rico hurled Molotov cocktails made from beer bottles. Flames washed over the swarm, the smell of burning protein filling the air. Dominic took a direct hit. Armor screaming. He smashed 2 ants together, cracking their shells. Then, a golden flare. Level 30. Dominic. Janet descended from above, wings of light sprouting from her back. Valkyrie form active. Then the giants came. Ants the size of dogs, mandibles like machetes. Level 46 beasts that shattered shiitake walls. Bontatos. Hardened roots swung like battering rams, finally staggering the giants. Ginger stalks burst from the heads of fallen ants. Necromancy. The dead turned against the living. Fire. Car rockets launched, exploding like fuel tanks. The swarm faltered. You are violating so many Geneva Conventions right now. I lost count months ago. Dawn light crept over the camp. Battered, exhausted, but standing. The war had escalated. The relentless skittering ceased. The swarm pulled back, retreating into the depths of the bamboo forest. Silence washed over the battlefield. It's over, for now. My legs, they just won't hold me up. Look at these new skills. Roaring Judge Not. It's completely different now. The stats are insane. My mind blade, it ignores physical defense now. It doesn't just cut, it disables. Tastes like crab, doesn't it? A bit tough, but we need the stamina. Needs a richer stock and more simmer time. But it's tolerable. Sweet water contest. Let's see what the king thinks. Jesus, my phone is going crazy. Is this what being A-class feels like? None of it matters. No pings. No sponsors. I prefer it this way. The news is starting. Yu Ting is talking about the Phoenix event. Look at these corporate clowns. Standing there acting brave when they barely fought. I hate to admit it, but she knows how to command. She's keeping the gates closed. It wasn't a coincidence. The ants, the pressure. The Sky Emperor is playing a much longer game than any corporation. Exhaustion hit camp like a second shifting. People dropped wherever they found something soft, from trolls to the lizard men on watch. Phong and Alexandra lay together under the lime oak's fading frost. No adrenaline left, just bone-heavy tiredness and the quiet weight of survival. Deep in the grove, a shadow moved. An ant the size of a cow, a creature of nightmare, emerged to bow before a tiny, glowing chick. The earth cracked. A jade dragon, small but carrying the weight of an emperor, coiled atop a bamboo stalk, staring down the chick. You hated the test subjects most of all, and yet, you are the first to stay among them. Very well. The dragon let out a roar of absolute authority, an order that froze the very forest, before sinking back into the earth. Morning came softly. No alarms. The camp began to stir, armor adjusted, and weapons checked. The spearhead was ready. I have something to say. Before you all dive again, I would like to ask Alexandra to be engaged to me. The camp erupted in cheers. Dominic wiped an imaginary tear, and the silence was replaced by genuine warmth. You sure? Even with everything? Even with revenge? Even knowing I'm diving again? You asking that many questions is making me nervous. Have mercy. Then yes. The broth began to simmer. Warm, comforting scents spread through the camp. For once, it didn't just feel like a fortress. The ants arrived in waves, probing the defenses of Camp Stymphalion like a hand testing a locked door. They're weighing cost against reward. Tell them the cost is pain. Then, the bamboo forest shifted. Towering columns of ants marched past, carrying stalks like siege towers. Above them, the queen descended. The queen measured the camp with ancient intent, then turned, leading her swarm away into the vast unknown of Floor 1. Chirp. Brother, you look like you survived another siege. Even with stoic garlic, I can't keep up with these stats. You're not supposed to. The gap between them grew, but the closeness remained. In the quiet of the tent, stats mattered far less than a simple, shared touch. It's good that nothing changed. If titles change you, they matter too much. Stay until things settle down on the surface. Outside their sanctuary, the world was fracturing. The dungeon was not a passive resource. It was reacting to the slaughter. In the camp, life felt deceptively normal. New houses were built, and the small animals grew larger, sharper, and stronger. Little Fireball remained unchanged, a tiny ember of potential perched on high, watching the world with eyes far older than they seemed. The public story shifted. Escort teams were being erased with surgical precision, leaving the media scrambling for narratives. I believe in leading from the front. I will personally dive to prove our safety. Leading from the front with 12 hired A-class escorts. What a joke. Back at the camp, preparations for the anniversary were in full swing. Strawberries were blushing, and hope was being harvested. Whatever these strawberries become, I'm glad you planted them. Another day on the decoy farm. No sentient tubers, no laws broken. Just dirt, sweat, and simple, honest growth. Wait, movement? Who would be out here? Polished armor. Professional camera drones? That's Olin. They're manufacturing heroism. Staging a fight with a docile creature. It's exactly like Josh. Just a different brand of rot. Hey, farmer. You should check out Mr. Olin's program. Safe escorts, proven results. Why stay low? You're worse than Josh. Josh bullied with entitlement, but you? You turn hope into a product. Disgusting. High above, the Jade Dragon watched. Two farmers. One built an ecosystem, the other farmed corpses. The dragon chose to watch. You again? You're half-starved. Here, take this. Survive if you can. Look at these messages. Synergy? Depth? He's texting me like a LinkedIn recruiter trying to romance a merger. That's it. He can try. I trust you. We're celebrating tonight, hot pot style. Celebration time. As head of the caffeine department, I declare this taste test a draw. You're smiling. I like this. But I hate him more now. He's trying to trap me in this media story. Let them talk. Outside, they manufacture narratives. But here, we're just us. No script, no cameras. Just us. The media storm descended on the bakery. Cameras pressed against the glass, ignoring privacy, hunting for the mystery woman. Already taken. Dating who is my own free choice. When are we? 15th century? Love is not something to negotiate through media pressure. No public narrative will make me trade away my daughter's happiness. Was America still in feudal time? Is Olin your king? Why you try to kidnap lady and put in his harem? If the spotlight needs a target, better it hit empty soil. Better me than the camp. Phong stood at the decoy farm for hours. Watering peas, checking leaves, a harmless farmer in a zoo. Olin's media team scrambled. Their hero looked hollow against the backdrop of the simple, honest farmer. Sir, I don't use social media. They think we're for sale. They didn't even bargain right. Tired? A bit. Being underestimated is easy. Being watched all day is not. All right, I'm cooking tonight. Tomorrow we move. Floor 2. I'll keep it warm. You owe me pampering when I get back. The footage of that farmer is trending. It pulls at something rotten in my memory. A loose thread. Josh stared at the analytics on his phone, his face illuminated by the cold blue light of the screen. Busy. Always. I assume this isn't social. Harmless people are the most dangerous when the timing is wrong. I want him irrelevant. Before morning. No noise, nothing traceable. Before morning. It's not murder, Josh. It's correction. Deep in the dungeon, the earth shifted. A warning, rippling through fungal threads and roots. The assassins were professionals. They moved with discipline, jamming signals and clearing the path. They expected fear. They did not expect the ground to betray them. What was that? Green angry chilies fired like guided micromissiles. The forest became a gauntlet of agony. A Bonctato slammed into him, breaking armor and spirit in one crushing arc. The struggle ended as quickly as it began. Only silence remained. Make it look like a lizardman skirmish. Use the scorch marks. It will be done. Fascinating. A human who chooses to de-escalate rather than fan the flame. He is cold when needed. Far away, the calls went unanswered. Dawn approached, and with it, the quiet realization of failure. Inside the camp, the world remained unchanged. The crops grew, and the farmer continued his work. I used myself as bait. They're gone. If you hear about divers killed by lizard men, that one is mine. Cooking helped. The steady chop of garlics. The crack of eggs. The dredge through seasoned flour. Fried chicken. You didn't even call us for the explosion. She's smaller. In the dungeon, intent mattered. They meant to kill me. I meant to survive. Amateur. Walking into a hostile biome without proper suppression? That's sloppy. Murder is a line, and I know they are crossing it. Enough. We have bigger optics to manage. 2 young men. 2 second attempts stopped. Not by morality. By politics. His defense network would now stretch farther. Garlic mine paths mapped along troll routes. The Trans offered silent agreement. Root systems slowly intertwined along the outer edge of the territory. On the surface, he was a level 1 farmer. A curiosity. In the dungeon, he was becoming the anchor of stability. The strawberries pulsed with a hard sheen. Berserking strawberries. Explosive green peas. These aren't defensive, they are weapons. He harvested them carefully, his instincts screaming that this mutation was far more dangerous than simple crop growth. Rico's spying, Nyx's training, Bruno's brutal troll camp. It feels like sending kids to boarding school. He sighed, watching the horizon. The camp was becoming a state, and he was the one left to manage its growth. You're the leader, but I'd like a warning before you make massive geopolitical decisions, Phong. You're right. It's just my old lone farmer reflex. I'm sorry. The game has changed. I am no longer just defending. Now, I have teeth. He sat under the lime oak, feeling the weight of his new influence. The camp was finally something more. The ground feels busy. Not a shift, but a migration. Before dawn, a massive migration of creatures appeared on the horizon, led by strange, armored beasts. We seek the farmer. We are from the Greencap Kingdom. We have heard you possess carrots. That depends on which kind. The alerting ones? You want the carrots to eat? The alarm function is irrelevant. The flavor profile is excellent. It is crunchy and sweet. Name your request. Metalwork, tools, equipment, and information. The first true diplomatic exchange between these civilizations had begun over a simple meal of vegetable curry. You can trade here again, but on one condition. Don't speak of this place to humans. Our oath binds us to the green cap. We do not betray allies. Farmer, do you have strawberries? Maybe. Next time. As the green cap kingdom moved on, Phong felt the weight of a new world. Real societies, real migration, real economies. Everything is growing. Horns of the earth whispered my name to them. Absurd, yet true. He looked back at the carrot field, the bamboo forest, and the path forward. He was ready. For the first time in months, the camp felt empty. The usual noise was gone, leaving only the sound of leaves. It's too quiet. I don't like it. You're not even human. Why are you so invested in this drama? Chirp. A sudden, frantic vibration breaks the peace. Fong's phone lights up with urgent notifications from the group chat. What is this? Rabbit cavalry? These aren't random mobs. It's a war. Someone must have hunted their civilians. That would do it, Phong. I'll handle it. I can't let this turn into a massacre. These are my allies. Please, do not harm them. This wasn't supposed to happen. Humans bring greed, and life answers. You saved her. You crazy kid, you actually saved her. Please. I can't breathe. If not for the Inoki and that shiitake, I'd be down for good. Alex stays. Olin is unstable, and I don't want you anywhere near that little shit. I'd like to spend time with my boyfriend, Dominic. He's not even creative. At least insult you properly if he's going to try. I'm ordinary. It's fine. Thank you, Phong, for the message. The Knight Captain recognized your seal. Keep the farm alive. Finally, peace. For how long? You did that on purpose, didn't you? Did what? I have no idea what you mean. Turning me into overcooked noodles, that's what. Told you it was too late. You complain, but you never say stop. That's not the point. My muscles are screaming. A faint chirping cut through the room. The red gold chick was back to its drama. Autoplay, huh? Always the same show. Persistence doesn't have to be pressure. It can be respect. Oh, for fuck's sake. The little bastard has his eyes on you now. Don't forget, his friend Josh is coming for your head too. Maybe if I offer Olin my girl, he'll spare me. If you even think about doing that, it's me you'll need to worry about. Okay, enough fooling around. Work. Romance over? How tragic. Well, these are basically cheat codes. What does it say? Don't leave me hanging. Double stats? That's not a snack. That's an overdrive button. Exactly. 1 minute of power, then 1 full day of weakness. Dominic's reply came through almost immediately. What? Save them. Do not test randomly. You realize this changes things. With these, we can kill far above our class. If I use it, I'll need protection afterward. A secret message. Josh and Olin made an alliance. They want you dead. Well, that's not surprising. I'm going to let them think I'm available, and then I'll show them exactly how wrong they are. We handle this together, then. The G7 conference created a power vacuum on the surface. But down here in the dark, silence is just another word for opportunity. You would teach us, Captain? And in return, you want your cavalry hidden in the Trant corridors? You play a dangerous game, farmer. Allying with the killer rabbits. The alliance was sealed. Soon, disciplined wagons bearing carrot crests began moving toward the decoy farms, bringing order to the wild dirt. Spar with me. I seek improvement, not just victory. You are Mindblade, yet you focus your will only on one point. You fight narrow. You want me to control multiple weapons telekinetically at the same time? If you can do this, you may become nearly unbeatable in a one-on-one, provided you do not challenge those above your class. Again, your speed is improving, Alex. My buffs can barely keep up with your three-pronged assault. You grow sharper, Mindblade. But confidence is a dulling blade. Remember that. Your kind strips our fallen, sells our craft, and hunts civilians. Yet you chose to help. We acknowledge it. Training is routine now, but everything is changing. The camp is becoming a bastion. Henshin, witness the power of the forest. I am the protector of Floor 1, and you are just jealous. Knock off Kamen Rider. You're building something here, Phong. A faction. A war machine. For when they stop playing politics and start playing war. I need to tell you something. Alex has a plan. She's going to pretend to give Olin a chance. One dinner. One-on-one. Not a date. Pictures of you and him at dinner will flood every feed. You jealous, Phong? Now. Yes. Now. Welcome to the team. You're angry. Yes. You fight single opponents well. You must fight many. All simultaneously. Dead. I get it. 1 in 10 million rare. When you lose everything once, you stop clinging out of fear. She was there when I had nothing. You're trending. There are slow motion edits already. We leave you for 2 weeks, and you let media marry your girlfriend. Hold on. She needs rear coverage. If I were dating someone, and the media plastered her with another person, I would at least throw something. She says hi. He won't. You really are turning into a Gundam. And you're still weirdly calm. I trust you. The camp chat ignited before sunrise. A flurry of photos, flexing affection like a competitive sport, pushing the outside world away. By noon, the surface turned into a battlefield. Alex prepared for the dinner, the weight of public perception looming over the bakery. And if he tries anything funny, I know, Papa. I know. The restaurant was a trap of strategic lighting and paparazzi. Alex arrived, untouched by the flashing cameras, back straight, chin level. Thank you for coming. I believe we can find common ground regarding our public images. You're very good at creating narratives. But I choose who I stand beside. I don't need saving. I gave you this dinner because public pressure deserved public closure. I'm not available. No hidden meaning. Back at camp, Phong tended to his garden, a glowing creature in his hood. He knew. He didn't need to watch. Twice, she turned me down. Twice. She will learn to regret this insolence. If the world believes the farmer matters, then the farmer must be erased from the board. Olin drafted a lethal contract. A trap disguised as an opportunity, designed to lead her team into danger. He planned the elimination of the farmer, a cold, calculated move. He thought he was untouchable in the shadows.